Hey Mod Runners, welcome back for part 2 of the upper armor build. Once again, sorry about the sound. I wasn't able to get the battery, but at least I have the video for you. So today we're going to be talking about the Pauldrons, all the hardware, and I think that's everything that's left. So let's jump down onto the table and let's get involved into it. All right, let's go. Okay, so last week we finished with the shield, but I didn't really talk about the making of these pieces here. So let's talk about that a little bit. Basically, once again, they were carved out of leather, and then this line here is actually just indented. It's actually creased using a bone creaser, just to give that kind of illusion that they're two different pieces, but really they're just one whole piece here, and it's leather glued onto this piece, and then the same thing with the piece down here wrapped around, and then dyed red. And here's another picture of it, so you can see that it's, you know, bright red, and then after some sanding, this next picture is it kind of being distressed. Alright, back to live. So we have the pieces that are underneath here that are sewn, this piece looped around, and then we have the same kind of lacing that is, according to the pictures from the movie, designed to kind of hold the pieces together. So what I did now, we're going to move on to the Pauldrons. What I noticed, actually let's do this one because it's probably easier to look at. Shaping. Pulling this off here. Alright, so now shaping these guys was fairly easy because all you had to do is wet mold it, wrap it around, and then this was actually, according to the picture, all stitched. I did not want to do a bunch of stitching on here, knowing that it was going to be hidden underneath for the majority of it. So I used the roller just to create the lines here, and then these are these kind of rivets that are, you know, button type rivets that are just put in there, and then all this is just kind of pushed in using the bone groover to create that, and then stained brown. This is cut out because what I did underneath here is I wanted to be able to take this apart somewhat. So this has just got a snap that I put on here, and it snaps up through there and then snaps onto here. And the positioning is for, you know, everybody's body's different. So where my shoulder is, it's positioned so that it hangs loose and yet it's still comfortable and it doesn't do any weird stuff. I can't really show you under here because the upper piece here, these are the same riveted on to the upper armor. This guy is a button, he uses several of Hiccup's costume stuff uses these types of button snaps that screw in, and this is all hardware that you can buy. I bought it at Tandy Leather. All my stuff that I got at Tandy Leather. So a lot of these hardware here you can just buy and get yourself. The one thing I did not get at Tandy Leather was this piece here, and this is actually not any type of true rivet. What it is it's actually a carriage bolt and a regular, you know, like you buy those buttons that have like pokers at the end. It's just that, and it's bent and glued onto this piece after the leather was folded over. This piece here is a buckle, regular belt buckle. You can see the underneath side is actually where the tongue kind of attaches, and I just cut off that piece and used it. Hiccup's is a little bit more rounded, but this was the closest that I could find, so I went with that. Now for these guys. This was kind of challenging. These S-curves here. What they are is they're actually just regular metal that I cut and hammered into that S-curve. So this was really challenging. This piece here I got at the hardware store, and what it is these kind of bolts here, and they screw in, and two 1 inches with a cutout screw piece allows it to just screw together and attach. And that way there's no kind of screw threads or anything like that. And once again, I was trying to get it as close to movie accurate as possible. This piece here is, the leather is bent over and folded, and then this was designed by taking a stamp template and then just individually hand stamping and hand carving this Burke logo. And then once again, a button attaches right down up through here and locks it in place, and then these lock in place there. 2 more of those buttons, and then these pieces cut, riveted on, and attached. The Pauldrons, moving back a step, once again cut out onto yoga mats, figuring out where I was going to put each rivet so that I had the right sizings, the amount of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those guys in the right spacings, and then the grooves along the sides. On the yoga mat first, always yoga mat first, and then onto leather. The tricky thing about the back here, and it's kind of hard to see on the video, is that there's a groove line that goes along each side. That was once again using the bone groover. And then the thing is you got to remember he's got his dorsal fin, which I'll do later on, that comes up. And so resting this so that the dorsal fin can still come up in between there. And that's the finalized completed stuff of the upper armor here. Let's go through a couple of the pictures and you can see the processing on how it kind of became the finalized version. So the first thing I have to show you is I have the leather in its raw form before it was stained red. So you have the design of the dragon on the shield, and then the wrapping of the upper buckle. You can see in the next picture here, the buckles are actually, being sized and bent and shaped into hooking onto the belt. Now we have a dyeing of the black straps, so that for the attachments. Here's a great shot of the belts in their finalized version with the Burke picture. And just so you can see it, a finalized picture of the costume. And that is the final of the upper armor. I hope the tutorial was helpful. I'll actually throw it on for you so you can see it on the finalized thing. Wraps around, up and over. The buckles here clip down below here, just like Hiccup. And then the next one here. And then these guys lock in place here. Throw the shoulders over. Oh, I didn't mention. I might as well mention it now. Because this thing was always dangling, the shield was moving, I just put a couple of eyelets and used a piece of lacing just so that it kind of stayed put. When I was walking around, I noticed that the pauldron here wanted to move around a lot on the shield, so it just kind of keeps it in place and fairly comfortable. And this is the finalized kind of version of the upper armor on. So that's the video for this week. I'm going to have some new videos out, once again, either every week, every other week. I'm still kind of depends on time. Please share the videos. Please subscribe. Tell your friends about the videos. Subscribe. Click on the ads. Thumbs up. And if you have any questions, I'm pretty good about answering them on specifics. If there is something specifically you want to see, whether it be costume or other stuff, I promise I will get some more scuba videos. There was a request for more scuba videos, so I will do those. And I'm going to be doing probably a month of wine stuff because I got a wine trip coming up. So, so that should be exciting. Go out, have a fantastic weekend. Wine, photography, cosplaying, whatever it is, go out and find your passion.